Hey folks, welcome to the channel. I'm Dom. This is Rockin' a Country. We might be in for a sad song today. I don't think there's any other way, but I mean, artists can be creative, but Penny Hedlund made a donation to the channel. So first, thank you for that, Penny. And she wanted me to do this song by Ashley Campbell titled Remembering. And Ashley is the daughter of Glenn Campbell. And Glenn passed away in 2017 of dementia and Alzheimer's. And so, let's see, Penny, you wanted me to dedicate this to anyone going through or who has gone through a loved one suffering from Alzheimer's or dementia. And I have familiarity with this because my stepfather passed away from it. And I remember the first inclination I had that something was amiss was I live up here in Jersey and my mom was down in Florida with my stepdad. And I called my mom as I did every other day. That was I call my mother every other day just to say hi. So after I talked with my mother, she put Jim, my stepdad, on the phone. Now, I'd known Jim for 30 years. And we were talking. He was a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. We were talking about whatever we were talking about, probably for about 10 minutes. And then he says, "Who's this?" to me. And I'm like, that was weird. Like, I didn't know if he was joking or what. And then I realized he really didn't know who he was talking with. Yet he remembered Pittsburgh Steelers, all the stuff we were talking about. So it was a perfectly normal conversation. And then he didn't know who I was. So I guess there's a level of functionality, I guess, or you could still function for a while, but then I think it was a year or two later, my mom actually had to put him in a facility. I think it was about 2 years, put him in a facility because he really couldn't take care of himself, and it was too much for her to even, and she drove the 45 minutes every day to the facility to go see him, and then would drive back. And this was an elderly woman at the time herself, making this trek. And then he eventually passed away. But that was a very strange moment. And anybody who's dealt with that with a family member knows it's stressful, it's strange, it's sad, it's goodness. But let's see what Ashley does with this song, Remembering. Okay, from Penny Hedlund, dedicated to anybody suffering who are suffered or a family member of Alzheimer's or dementia.
Now enjoy this video.
Oh, it's a country road. It's Bill.
4 years old, running up the stairs to your bed.
Pretty voice.
Thunder rolls and I pull the covers over my head. You say it's just a storm, enjoy the show. You take me to the window and you show me that it's beautiful. Never had to ask you to sing for me. It's just the way you put me at ease. For bone, we are the same. Bones get tired and they can't carry all the weight. We can talk until you can't even remember my name. Daddy, don't you worry, I'll do the remembering. Daddy, don't you worry, I'll do the remembering. First guitar and I just wasn't getting it right. You showed me how to play and said it doesn't happen overnight. And in a couple of years I come home and show you how I play Blackbird. And though I miss a couple notes, you still say that it was the best you'd ever heard.
got goosebumps.
Never had to ask you to to smile for me. It's just the way you put me at ease. Bone for bone, we are the same.
Yeah.
Bones get tired and they can't carry all the weight. We can talk until you can't even remember my name. Daddy, don't you worry, I'll do the remembering.
Oh my God.
Daddy, don't you worry, I'll do the remembering. Now I have to ask you to sing for me, and I have to show you the words to sing.
Wow.
You're standing right in front of me and slipping away. Bone for bone, we are the same. Bones get tired and they can't carry all the weight. We can talk until you can't even remember my name.
Good Lord.
Daddy, don't you worry, I'll do the remembering. Daddy, don't you worry, I'll do the remembering.
That was damn near a perfect song. It's funny because funny, that's just an expression. But with the children of very famous people who go into that same line of work, you know, LeBron James' son Bronny is a basketball player and he's ranked as like a 4-star recruit right now, and you're like, well, is he getting extra stars just because his father is, you know, the greatest basketball player today? Different people have advantages when they go into the same field as their parents. Their parents kick the doors open. And so when I hear an artist that's the offspring of one, I don't know what I'm getting, but the possibility is there that they're not going to be quite as good or whatever. This was beyond belief to me. Ashley was beyond belief. If she wrote this, which I have a sense that she did, she's next level. But not just next level writing, she's next level performing. And I don't know if it's because she bodied up this song. This was fully her. But the lyricism in this, the metaphor, just the analogies, the way she worked language in to express. Like when she said bone for bone, I think the lyrics were, we're still the same, or we are the same. Who thinks of that? I'd never heard that. There's a lot I'd never heard of before in here, and it wasn't jumbled mess. It was brilliance. But I'll do the remembering. What a perspective. I mean, that is art. That isn't just language. That is a creative, I don't know what else she's done. And her voice, too. Her voice, you're compelled. If I didn't know who she was, I'd be equally enthralled. But because I wasn't quite sure if maybe they, you know, maybe, as I said, artists' kids get favors. And entertainers' kids get favors. And they have doors kicked down for them. And do they have the talent? I don't know. And I was just captivated by her voice, her delivery, but the brilliance. I mean, I was expecting an uber sad song, and I was struck by how she talked about, she personalized it, this experience. And to see Rory Feeks there, whose wife wasn't, you know, Joey wasn't there with him. So she'd passed at the time of this. I'm just guessing. unless she had a prior engagement. But if she was somewhere, he'd have been there too. So I'm not quite sure. But Rory was there, so he could relate on a certain level, even though his wife Joey didn't pass. She died of cancer. She didn't die of dementia. He could relate to the slow passing. And he'll have to do the remembering of mommy for the daughter. Yeah, what's her name? It's Indiana or Hope? I used to think it was Hope, but I think it might be Indiana. But anyway, what a song. I'm not going to rate that song, Penny. It's just not one of those that I would. If I were to rate it, you heard me say it's a perfect song. There wasn't a wasted lyric. There wasn't a wasted emotion. There wasn't a fake emotion in it. Her voice was just perfect for this song. And the strumming, I mean, I'm not sure who the backing vocalist was there, and he was obviously, as a guy, we're always worried, are you going to cry, or are you going to be upset? She got through it no problem. Very, very strong girl, very strong woman. I don't know where she is in her career, but if you folks have a song that she might be known for, even on indie labels, anywhere, that might be I don't know if it could be as compelling as this, but holy cow. So that's a perfect song right there. That captured a moment, but in a very artistic, creative way. So, okay, folks, that's for everybody who has dealt with a family member who has dementia or Alzheimer's, or maybe if not yet, this might prepare you for it. One of the things about the human race is that the longer we live, the longer our lifespans are, the more people show up with this, dementia and Alzheimer's. Before the invention of antibiotics, the average lifespan worldwide, I think, was somewhere around 30 years. And then antibiotics prevented you from dying of a tooth infection or some other infection. And now medical advances in industrialized nations, the average age of a male is around 80 and a female is like 83 or something like that. But the longer, and that's an average. So some people who die early offset mathematically the people who live longer. So there are people, as we know, who live well into their 90s. And what happens is the brain deteriorates a bit, and as they're learning about dementia and Alzheimer's and whether it's plaque or there's some other thing that goes on in the brain. Now, the plaque may not be the problem. There's some other evidence now that in the brain that it's a different thing that's affecting the memory. All of that said, the longer we live, the more we're going to deal with this and other medical maladies. But all right, so there it is, folks. Penny Hedlund dedicated that to everybody, as I said, who's dealing or may deal with this or has dealt with it. So there you go. Thank you, Penny, again. Have a great day, folks. I'll see you on another video and keep rocking the country.